Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Differences podcast. I am Dallas, and I am pleasantly surprised by all the cinema that we've gotten in January, the month of the throwaways.
I'm Gaby, and I really hope to enjoy some of those movies soon.
I'm Colin, and same as Gaby. I ain't seen shit.
Yeah.
And I'm Demi, and man, I've been waiting for this moment for like 2 weeks. Welcome to another episode of the Creative Differences podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Fancast Fridays, Throwback Thursdays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. Today, we are reviewing several things, a couple of which are late because we felt like it. It's our podcast. We can make these decisions if we want to. We are reviewing Missing, M3gan, and Willow.
Yes, we are. Half of us have seen these things, but you know what? It doesn't matter because we're together. We're a group.
Yay!
It's so good.
We're a unit.
We're a unit. It's so good to be a team again.
See.
So yeah, please like, please share, please subscribe, because Gaby just had a birthday and you didn't get her anything. So get her that. Get her a subscription. Get her a
get
like.
us enough likes so that we could make this a monetized podcast. Woo.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, with that out of the way, I guess we should just get started. Let's start with the most recent movie that came out, Missing.
Cool. Missing is written and directed by Nick Johnson, not my cousin. I do have a cousin named Nick Johnson. What's up, Nick? It's his birthday too.
Hey,
And
Nick.
yeah, Gaby knows Nick. And Will Merrick. They have never directed anything, according to the internet. So this is their debut. At least features, you know, that's all we count. We don't count shorts and videos and all that fun stuff. So shout out to them. They got started. They hit the ground running. Missing is dope. It stars Storm Reed, Nia Long, Joaquin de Almeida, Ken Leung, Amy Landecker, and Daniel Henney, who I just found out plays Tadashi on Big Hero 6.
Ooh.
That's just a fun fact for me because I love that movie.
That name is also very familiar to me. 1 second.
He's in X-Men, the one with Wolverine that we all hated.
Which I only saw
X-Men
2 of
Origins?
those. So
Yeah, it's X-Men Origins. He plays Agent Zero.
I don't remember that movie.
Yeah.
It's fine. You shouldn't.
Oh. I think also he's on the Wheel of Time, which is why I recognize him.
There it is. Also, IMDb summary. After her mother goes missing, a young woman tries to find her from home using tools available to her online. Yeah,
That,
You have to.
that's just so
I mean, I guess like that
basic.
doesn't.
It
Yeah,
happens.
it's like
It
I guess that doesn't really get at what the movie is, but it also does.
Just using tools available to her online sounds
You know,
so
using tools
boring.
available to
This
her
sounds
online.
like 2002.
right. Like, come on, guys.
She's on the web.
Using AOL.com
She's on the net.
and MapQuest.
At least she's not using Bing.
Was there Bing in this movie?
Do they have Google
I don't
money
think
this
so.
time?
Okay. I don't know. Go watch a lot of things. I thought I saw Bing, but hopefully I didn't. Sorry, Bing. We don't mean to come at you like that. You catching strays. You didn't ask for this. Missing. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's really dope. I liked Searching a lot 5 years ago. I like Missing a lot. It's like Searching, but black. And you know, what's our catchphrase? Black people make everything better. Also, it's a lot more, I don't want to say a lot more intense, but it's a lot more intense.
There is a tension there that I wasn't prepared for.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just as good as the first movie. We talked about this when we were coming out of the theater,
Mhm.
like that tension that you're talking about. I pointed out that like they really take advantage of the fact like when you watch Searching, there was never a moment where you're concerned that John Cho's character is going to be in danger, is going to
Right.
be murdered.
Yeah.
But Storm Reed's character being 18 years old, I'm like, yo, this girl could die at any second. Somebody could just come in and like pop her or something like that. I don't know what
Mhm.
might happen, but it's
Yeah.
horrifying and it's scary. It's a child without their mother. Like,
And getting into situations that John Cho wasn't getting himself into.
yeah, because John Cho's kind of being guided to do these search
Yeah.
methods. She's just doing it on her own.
I think the most tense moment in that one is when he goes to confront his brother.
Yeah. Because I
But-
don't know what he gonna admit.
Right, I was like, what's your brother going to do or say? But
Although, to be honest, I actually saw it coming. But the
Okay.
tension was still there.
there was a tension there. In this one, she's going into dark rooms, abandoned building. Like, what are you doing?
What? Abandoned buildings? She's 18?
Not abandoned, like derelict, but like an office after
can
hours.
go into abandoned
Oh,
buildings,
okay.
Gaby.
Got it.
That's true. She is legally an adult, but she shouldn't be doing
Yeah.
any of the stuff.
But she's still a teenager.
Yeah, she's a teenager. Storm
Like,
was wild.
she just graduated from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And her mom's missing? That's terrifying.
And her mom's
No,
missing.
thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, the story is simple, just like the first one. Somebody goes missing.
Okay,
Somebody
I hope
missing.
She found her mom at the end. Don't
We gotta
spoil.
find
No
her.
spoilies,
Yeah.
but I hope she finds her mom.
I think there's a moment where some people might think that the story is getting a little too melodramatic, but I think it's still grounded in reality. Like, this is a thing that could happen.
Yeah. I think that's one thing, is that Searching felt like that sadly everyday story. Because, you know, like, there's always somebody missing.
I think even the plot twist on that one, though, is just a little bit theatrical.
Like, there was a storm on Monday, that one?
No.
Oh, okay.
The reveal of what actually happened.
Oh, okay. Fair. But this one was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is...
What
Question about this one that has to do with Searching. Was there any like invasions or zombie outbreaks in the bottom this time? Or
There
are hints of something.
Yeah. Audience, watch it and you pay attention. You'll see what it is. We don't want to spoil it for you. But there is a story running in the background as well.
There are some headlines.
Cool.
They also reference the aliens from the first movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Love
fun
that.
time.
Okay.
Yeah. Storm Reid is phenomenal as
She
always. I think that this is also a good showcase of her talents because I don't think Storm Reid really very often gets to lead anything. She's usually playing like somebody's younger sister. And not since like A Wrinkle in Time has she really been like the lead of a movie or like a TV series.
That's the only one I could think of that she's like the lead.
Yeah.
Same.
But she really gets to showcase her talent in this one because there's a lot that she has to, there's a lot of emotional stuff that she has to do because I mean, obviously she's the teenager with the missing mom. So there's the anger and the fear and the worry and the sadness and like the determination and the desperate need to find her mom. And also there's a bit of guilt in there as well because there is very much an interpersonal story in there as well between the mother and the daughter. And I think she's able to carry this movie very, very well. And I think movies like Searching and Missing require a little bit more effort for you to emotionally connect with these people because you're watching everything through a screen. And like even more so like more than just like, oh, it's on a like theatrical screen.
Like,
no, like legitimately you're watching a computer screen. So we can't follow every moment like we would in a normal movie. Like you have to create these emotional moments within a computer screen that still kind of distances you from them.
Yeah.
And I think they do really, I think Storm Reid is doing very well with that, especially when she's doing scenes with Joaquim de Almeida.
Oh, he's great.
Their characters are so great together.
What's his name? Is he Javi?
Yes, Javi.
Javi's the MVP. I love Javi.
Javi's just a good person.
He's fantastic.
We stan Javi. Speaking of people that we stan, Nia Long is also great in this movie.
Nia Long. What can I say about Nia Long?
Well, you're a black boy from the 90s, so...
Yeah, see, I don't...
A lot.
There's a lot I can say. There's a lot I won't say. But let's just say this. Who wouldn't do everything they can to find Nia Long if she was missing?
Okay, got it. I thought you were...
What do you think I was going to say, Gaby?
I thought you were going somewhere else. I was like, ooh.
He went there, just very tamely.
Yeah.
I said nothing crazy. I thought of some things before we recorded this. I was like, don't say that. Don't say that. Nope, that's not the thing to say.
On a more technical level, I think that they've improved the format since Searching.
Okay.
I think that the editing is better and far more creative in this movie than it was in Searching. Like, it's good. Like, the editing is really good in Searching.
Right.
But the editing in Missing is like, the transitions are so like creative and like we're going to different places in very like imaginative ways and it keeps it like very compelling and I think it's a little bit more cinematic.
Yeah, because there's this zoom out that we were talking about after the movie where they're showing her screen and I was like, yo. But yeah, as much as I like Searching, I haven't seen it since it was out, so I can't remember a lot of what they did.
I watched it for the first time a few days before we went to go see Missing, so I had that in mind.
Nick and Will was going crazy on this one.
Yeah, I think the effects are fantastic on this movie, which is crazy to think. Like, yeah, it's a computer screen, but like the effects are fantastic because the fact that they added dead pixels onto June's screen is insane to me. Like, there was a point where I was watching the movie and I could see that there were like 3 strange-looking dots on the screen, and I was like, "Is something wrong with our theater screen?"
Right?
Because sometimes that does happen. I do notice those things. And then it went to another shot or like it pulled out or something and I noticed that those dots weren't in that same place anymore and I was like, oh my gosh, they gave her computer dead pixels. That's
so interesting.
Oh, I love that. It's just another layer of storytelling.
It is, man. It's so good.
They did their thing.
They did. Also, shout out to whoever wrote the New Edition reference into the script. New Edition is a household classic in my household, so big ups to you. It's the second franchise that includes Nia Long and New Edition in the same area.
I mean, hey, that's how Kevin got her mom.
Hey, man.
New Edition.
I knew it. Hey, man, if it isn't love and Can You Stand the Rain are currently on the playlist that I listen to often. So
they are staples. But yeah, this movie is one that the more you talk about it, the closer you get to like spoiler stuff.
Yep.
So it's like there's not a whole lot I can say. It's just really good. They did really well. If you like searching, I think you'll like it. If you're into the whole true crime investigating things that, you know, everybody's always into, I think you'd really like it. If you like doing hunter killers or listening to podcasts about people who go missing, Gaby.
Hey.
Then you rock with it. Or if you just really like Nia Long and want to appreciate her and look at her, then boom, there you go. That's Missing.
Dallas, tell us about M3gan.
Oh my
boy.
God. Yes. Sorry.
M3gan. All right, let's get into M3gan. It is directed by Gerard Johnstone and written by Akilah Cooper. Akilah Cooper, shout out to you. We love a black woman writing horror. She wrote Malignant, and goodness gracious, if you guys have seen Malignant, then you shouldn't be surprised by how odd M3gan is. Let's just say that. She was also a producer on Luke Cage. We love it.
Hey.
M3gan. It stars Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, and Jenna Davis / Amy Donald as M3gan. Jenna Davis does the voice. Amy Donald is the body.
Got it.
IMDb summary is: a robotics engineer at a toy company builds a lifelike doll that begins to take on a life of its own. Very basic. Doesn't give away too much. That's fine. So when I saw this trailer, I saw Allison Williams of Get Out fame.
Yay.
Yeah.
And I saw Violet McGraw, and I decided I got to see this movie. Then I saw the rest of the trailer. I saw that dance that M3gan did. And I thought, I really got to see this movie.
Yo, that dance is the only reason I almost considered going to see it.
That dance is wild. It's like a TikTok dance, but I'm like, what is this TikTok dance doing in this horror movie?
It's so great. Also, full disclosure, I thought Violet McGraw was the little girl from the Black Phone. She's not. She's a little girl from Hill House. I thought that only when I saw the trailer, and then I watched the rest of the trailer and I was like, that's not her. But in my defense, they are sisters.
Oh, okay.
Violet McGraw's older sister, Madeline McGraw, is the girl from the Black Phone.
Violet McGraw is also little Yelena Belova from the MCU.
So I was like, she looks very familiar. But yeah, they're both great. They're both going to be Scream Queens. Love to see it. Man, this movie is so silly, but it's silly in a very intentional and fantastic way. Like, it starts with a toy commercial, very tongue-in-cheek, and there's a jingle, and I don't remember the exact words, but it's something like, I had a dog and he was my best friend, but now he's dead and I'm alone again.
What?
And I was like, yo, wait, what? So
how did we get here?
Right. So the commercial's for what looks like a Furby. And it's like,
that's
it's
even worse.
Right. And it's like a Forever Pet or something like that. It's a little Tamagotchi / Furby joint. You can play on your tablet. You can feed it. It's a real toy though. It's not just a Tamagotchi. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, we set the tone. I see what we're doing here. From there, it just gets better and better. They do things in a slightly different way than your typical robot goes crazy story.
Okay.
Our friend Jesse said that M3gan is what Ultron should have been. Jesse is wrong because Ultron's amazing, but I see what he's saying, because what I thought was just going to be a scary little white girl doll turns into pretty much like Skynet almost, like the stuff that she can do by the end of the movie. Like, she just progresses in scariness, and she learns, and she can like hack Alexa, and she does really creative things. It's really good.
Ooh. So it's a better movie than you thought it was going to be, because it looked silly.
Yes, it looked silly, and it was silly, but it was silly in a better way than I expected.
Okay, got it.
And this is the first time I've seen an evil AI sing Titanium by Sia as a lullaby.
Oh, God.
Immediately following a kill. So you guys have seen the trailer.
Yeah.
You know the part where that angry little white boy with the...
Is that the woods scene?
He like teases her in the woods or something?
Yeah, teases the girl in the woods. He's like, make her say something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That seems much better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Like, first of all, when M3gan is talking to him, like, she's acting like a little doll or, you know, whatever, just she can't move or whatever. He stands over here, very scary. He stands over her. He's a psychopath. And then she grabs him by the ear and starts pulling it. And she's like, Brandon, like, you shouldn't. She says something like, your bad boys grow up to be bad men or something like that. And then she starts pulling his ear and she's like, are you listening to me, Brandon?
Ooh, I hate that.
And then after that whole thing happens, it's not much of a spoiler. In the trailer, the little boy gets hit by a truck.
Yeah.
And then Katie is Violet McGraw's character's name. She's like, oh, did you push Brandon into the road? and Megan doesn't really say no. But, you know, Katie's aunt, Allison Williams, was like, oh, you know, he's in a better place by now. And, oh, also, side note, the audience I watched this with was perfect. Because when she said he's in a better place, everyone laughed. Because we know that little boy is a demon.
He went to him.
And Katie's aspect, she's like, Megan, do you think that Brandon's really in, like, do you think Brandon's in a better place now? And Megan laughs. She says, ha, no. She says, if heaven's real, it wouldn't be for a boy like Brandon. And I was like, yeah.
Damn.
Megan has lines like that all through the movie. Like, she starts off
that's great.
borderline innocent, just trying to learn more. Like, one of my favorite scenes is Megan is quote unquote off, and all the designers are talking about Katie. She lost her parents, like how to deal with grief and stuff like that, which I will say the movie did sneak in some nice messaging between all the silliness and the death. Like dealing with grief, unhealthy coping mechanisms. Katie kind of shows signs of addiction because at one point they take Megan away from her. Because, you know,
I was like,
and
addiction? How old is this child?
And she's like a little girl, but also Violet McGraw, fantastic performance because she starts lashing out. She's screaming. She slaps her aunt at one point because she's so like in withdrawal, which is funny because I was listening to shout out Frames Per Second podcast. They did a review for this and there are a bunch of older black people. And one of them, Mike, he was like, I feel bad, but they're like, oh my God, you see how she slapped her? He was like, that would have been me. Oh, you miss your parents? You about to see them in 5 minutes.
Ooh, that would have been something my parents would have said to me.
Exactly. Like this has to be a white movie the way that she gets away with things. But anyway, they're talking about that. And then out of nowhere, Megan says, how did Katie's parents die? And everyone's like, I thought that thing was off. What the hell is going on? But she's just trying to learn. She tells Allison Williams, she's like, I don't have like a protocol to deal with loss, like death. Like I need to do this or whatever. Allison Williams is like, nah, you're a toy. Chill out. And then at some point, without giving away too much of the context, Katie starts crying and she's talking about her parents. And Megan gives Gemma, that's Allison Williams, this look like, nigga, what did I tell you? And it's amazing. Megan's fantastic. Jenna Davis, who plays the voice, she's amazing. I was listening to an episode of I Hear Voices. It's a podcast about voice acting. Shout out to Will Friedle and Christy Carlson Romano. And Jenna Davis is about, I think, 18 or 19. She has the most adorable voice. She's a Disney kid. She sounds like a Disney princess. But the fact that she can convincingly give lines like, I will rip your head off your spine, I swear to God, is so, like, the talent. But yeah, she's amazing. There's just so many moments. Like when Gemma says, Megan, did you hurt someone? And at this point, Megan has kind of evolved to a certain level. And she says, oh God, I hope not. Because then we'd both be in a lot of trouble.
Jesus.
Because Gemma designed Megan. And it's like, yo, Megan got bars for days. I see why everyone's saying she's the next horror icon. We love it. The dance is great in the context of the movie. It's as ridiculous as you would expect, but it works somehow. It works. It really works.
Oh my gosh, I just realized who plays Megan. Oh wow. She's on Raven's Home.
Yes. See, is your name Sierra or something?
I think his name is Sienna or something like that.
Yes. That's what it is. This is as far from Disney as you can go. She's fantastic. Great time. Fun time. If you can watch it without complaining about how, well, the movie should be rated R. There's not enough blood. I like to see people die in detail because I'm a psychopath.
Oh, God.
What?
If you're not one of those.
Were people saying that?
People say that all the time. Whenever a PG-13 horror movie comes out, you have that crowd that's like really into watching death. Who's like, oh, well, it's not rated R, so I can't see the blade slash through all the flesh and I can't see the blood pouring, and I think that's
People
a
don't
shortcoming.
understand that horror comes in countless forms.
It does.
I think what's really interesting is that the director said that it initially was a rated R cut, and then he pulled back on it to make it a PG-13 cut, and he said it's far more terrifying as PG-13 than it is as rated R.
I kind of prefer it like this because I don't go to horror movies for the blood and gore
and the gratuitous.
I go for the story and for the TikTok dances. So this is exactly what I wanted. Yeah, it's just great. Also, the way this movie's marketed, the dances, Megan's Twitter, fantastic. I could see that being easily marketed to a younger audience. So it really makes sense for this to be PG-13. If you're not going to whine about lack of blood, just have a great time. And I will be here for Megan 2.0 when it comes out because we're getting the sequel.
Oh, really? Already? Damn.
Yeah, already.
Yeah.
That means this movie made money.
Yeah, they made back like their budget and some during the first weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, it's funny that you're recommendation comes with a contingency
Caveat.
because mine also comes with a caveat.
Woo! Let's see the caveat recommendations.
Yeah, I guess that means it's my turn.
It is.
Here's something that I thought I was going to be normal about. It turns out I'm not.
Oh boy.
I am absolutely not normal. I am hyperfixating. Guys, I watched Willow, which is created by Jonathan Kasdan, and it stars Warwick Davis, Ruby Cruz, Aaron Kellyman, Ellie Bamber, Tony Revolori, and Amarchata Patel, with special appearances from Joanne Whalley, Ralph Ineson, Hannah Waddingham, Ajoa Aboa, and Christian Slater. And the IMDb synopsis is 20 years after vanquishing the wicked queen Bavmorda, the sorcerer Willow Ofgood leads a group of misfits on a dangerous rescue mission into the unknown. Guys, Willow is my favorite thing right now.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely.
It is my favorite thing. I've been waiting so long to review it because I'm annoying everybody about it. I think it honestly gets better as the show goes on. Like the first 3 episodes, I was like, oh, this is good. Episodes 4 through 6, I was like, this is really good. And then episodes 7 through 8, I was like, this is fantastic. The story is kind of your average quest adventure with our heroes having to rescue a member of royalty, but this time around it's the prince instead of having to rescue the princess. We love to see it.
Ooh.
All right, progression.
We love a subversion.
A dame in a duke in distress? I don't know.
In distress?
I guess. I don't know. We have to come up with a good one for that.
Yeah.
We have to. What I love about this approach to it, though, is that this show is genuinely a fun time. It doesn't take itself too seriously like most modern fantasy shows, but its dramatic moments are still treated very seriously. Like it knows when it needs to be serious.
Okay.
And on the other hand, it's also just an extremely funny show in my opinion, and it's not afraid to be silly. It feels very much like an 80s fantasy film, but updated for the modern age. I love 80s fantasy films. I grew up watching Labyrinth. I love The Princess Bride. I watched the original Willow movie like a few days before watching the show. I talked about that already. You guys can check out that review. I'll find a way to put the link in here somewhere. But I liked that. I miss 80s movies, to be honest, and their vibe. So I really do appreciate this show. And I also appreciate that this show isn't solely plot driven. Like the show is willing to slow down to focus on developing its characters and giving them time to just interact with each other and challenge each other and like work through whatever issues they're having. It's also a show that clearly knows and loves fantasy tropes and archetypes, and it knows them and it's willing to subvert them at the same time while also playing into them. And even the visual symbolism and storytelling feels very much like George Lucas, who is the man who created Willow.
Right.
He created the story for the movie. He didn't write it, but he created the story.
Okay.
I love the themes of the show, especially that one Graydon gives in the first episode. Graydon, played by Tony Revolori, he has a line that he gives to Kit in the first episode where he says, one day we'll be in charge and we don't have to do things the way that our parents did. And I feel like that's a theme throughout the show of like the adults dealing with the mistakes that they've made in the interim since the first movie,
Right.
but also the kids trying to find new ways of dealing with these situations and solving them and trying to lead in a new way, which I think is great. And the characters, in my opinion, all have extremely satisfying arcs. I love these characters so damn much. Every single one of them. And
Yes, you do.
I do. And if I fall in love with characters, like that's more important to me than anything else. Like I can forgive certain plot things if it's in the name of the characters.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Got it.
And I feel like this show does this a lot. Like I hear a lot of people say that like certain plot points are like, oh, that's ridiculous, or you wouldn't do that. And it's just like, yeah, but it's making the character grow. So why do I care if that's ridiculous if the character's moving forward as a person?
Yeah.
Kit has a moment in episode 6, which I think every person in the world would agree, like, no, you shouldn't do that. Wait until later. Don't do it now. For her as a person, this is the moment to do that.
Right.
And we need her to do this now. It's more important for her as a character than it is for us to push forward the plot.
Fair.
Got it.
And people do wild stuff sometimes.
In that situation, yeah, absolutely. Also, I think that the characters, they're like a fun, dynamic group of misfits. I love Ruby Cruz as Kit Tantalos. She's so abrasive, but she's also like emotionally resonant in my opinion. And she's the one who has kind of like the hardest character journey to go on because she has some very unlikable moments. But in my opinion, I think that they're all understandable because it's her brother that goes missing. So of course she's kind of like, I'm focused on this.
Yeah.
So I don't have time for us to be focused on anything else outside of us finding my brother.
That's fair.
That's totally fair.
Yeah. So she can be a bit of a pain in the ass, but I love her. Erin Kellyman continues to become one of my favorites, and she's amazing as Jade Claymore, and she really gets to show off the extent of her range. I feel like she has a presence about her in everything that she's done, even from Solo. Like, I was like, oh, she's great in Solo, even though she's got like 5 minutes of screen time.
Right.
Yeah, but she monologues in Solo.
She does monologue in Solo. That's true. She does have like a whole monologue. And then we get her in like Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
where she's incredible in that, but also it's a very dark character, and she kind of only gets to do like the dramatic, serious side of things more so
Right.
than anything else. I feel like Willow gives her the opportunity to do like, yes, the dramatic stuff that comes with like the duty and honor of being a knight, but also getting to do a lot of fun stuff as well, and getting to like make jokes and stuff like that. Also, she has some of the greatest facial reactions, like nonverbal, in the show, and they're amazing. Jade is tired this entire time. So yeah, that's fantastic for her. Ellie Bamber is a delight as a Dove, who is very naive and powerful, but she manages to find a way to show that there might be a little bit of darkness in her. It's nice to see Tony Revolori in a genre piece
Yeah.
where he's not playing Flash.
Yeah.
And it's a very different character from Flash. He gets to be very soft and very subtle as Graydon.
I mean, he looks like he should be playing soft, subtle characters. He has a little,
He
a little softness to him.
He was kind of like that in Grand Budapest Hotel.
I've never
A
seen that
little
one, which
softer.
is why I said genre piece in particular, because
Right.
I've never seen Grand Budapest Hotel.
Fair. Yeah. He's a little bit of a softie in that he's just like a really eager assistant.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a dark side and got like a pretty tragic history, I guess you could say. So he plays it very well. Amar Chadha Patel, somebody get this man a franchise. He's so funny and so charismatic. He's such a standout as Borman. He's fantastic. And then you have Warwick Davis, who kind of grounds the show and keeps us connected to the original movie as Willow, but in a very The Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker sort of way.
Ooh, okay.
Visuals of the show are fantastic, showing off the stunning landscapes of Wales. A lot of people keep thinking it's New Zealand. It is Wales.
Oh, it's Wales?
Yeah, they shot it in Wales because the original
Very
movie was
nice.
shot in Wales.
Oh, okay. Damn, England must not have that many people in it if there's that much like landscape to do that in. Because it's a small country. It's smaller than California.
That's true.
Like the island.
That is
entire
very
island.
true. They've got some really beautiful landscapes on this show, though. But episode 7, which I think is the crowning jewel of the entire series, like it has some of the most beautiful fantasy visuals that I've seen in a while. It's colorful and it's otherworldly. The magic in the show has a dope design, and I would say like it's kind of taken like the Harry Potter design and like evolved it and made it better. It looks so freaking cool.
Ooh.
Even just making the magic look cooler makes the magic fights look cooler.
Okay.
The monster and creature designs are very impressive. Hot take, I love the needle drops in this show. I've wanted a fantasy show to use modern music since that Witcher season 2 trailer dropped and people were complaining about it.
Yeah, they do that.
I love it. And a bunch of people don't at all, which is why it's a hot take. It's one of my favorite things about the show. Like Enter Sandman comes on during episode 3 and I'm like, bruh, I'm hyped. What are we doing? What? This is amazing. But John Casson said that the reason why he decided to do it was that it's a spunky, somewhat startling way to distinguish our irreverent, gleefully anachronistic little romp from heftier, more serious-minded fantasies currently streaming, and an impulse that aligned nicely with the rebellious rockin' spirit of our shabby heroes.
That makes sense.
And I like that a lot.
Yeah, it can change the tone from just like we're walking across the fields to get the dragons or whatever. I don't watch a lot of fantasy. That's my idea of it.
Exactly. That's what. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So for the people who are like, modern music doesn't belong in fantasy, let fantasy do what it wants.
Right.
It's fantasy. Like, stop putting it in a box. This show, I make fun of Colin a lot.
We all do.
All right, damn.
Whenever we talk about fantasy, I bring up that Colin like says that all fantasy things are the same.
I never said that all fantasy things are the same, but a lot of them derive from the same source.
And I'm starting to see what he means, because this show just deviating from the norm of like Game of Thrones or like Lord of the Rings or even The Witcher, like it not using classical music all the time, it deciding that we're going to have denim costumes, and like it deciding to do like things that aren't normally done in fantasy. People are like railing against those things so hard, and it's just like, but why? If we don't do something new, then the fantasy genre is just going to become the same thing over and over again. So I understand what Colin is saying now, because finally there is something that's extremely different from the rest of the fantasy genre.
And people are mad about
and
it.
people are mad about it. Like the number of people I've had to hear say, oh, well, the modern music takes me out of it. Okay, but I think that's a you problem and not the show problem.
Also, it's it's non-diegetic, right? Like it's part of the. It's not.
It's mostly it comes in the credits.
Right. So like they're not playing like the Rolling Stones or anything. Are they?
Mostly in the credits.
Okay, never mind.
There's one episode where they do play like modern music during the episode, and it's only because of the plot twist that happens at the end of the episode. They go silent for the end credits instead of playing actual modern music again.
What?
But also,
does this take place in a certain time period?
It's a fantasy show, so it's not like it takes place in our world. So
Right, so it's not like our past or anything like that.
No,
So yeah,
it's
if they
not.
want to play Lil Nas X, they can do that.
Also, this is not unheard of. Like they do something kind of like this in Bridgerton, where they do like orchestral versions of modern songs.
yeah, except
this
this
isn't
isn't
like
orchestral
comic-
versions. We're just playing the song.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's not like out of the realm of media that's currently happening. Man, people are just haters.
People like to hate.
People are just haters. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that this is the best fantasy show ever made. I'm just saying, like, for what it's doing, it's a lot of fun and it's doing it really well. And I think it does it even better the further along we get. And it's at its best when it decides to focus on its characters and less so on, like, the plot. I think a lot of people forget that, like, it takes more than just a good plot to have a good story. You like,
Yeah.
there are other things involved in here, too.
Yeah, we had entire TV shows that like were not exciting plot wise, but like were literally just about the people in the show, like that were hits. You know what I mean? Like just because this is in a sort of fantasy setting doesn't mean it has to necessarily be more plot driven.
Yeah, I would like people to stop equating medieval fantasy with medieval fiction because those are different things. Like if I want to put denim in my fantasy show, I can put denim in my fantasy show. It's a fantasy show.
Yeah,
And it's not supposed to take place in like
this
people
is not
will be
real
like,
life.
It's medieval times, and I'm like, it doesn't take place in our world. It's not medieval times. It's
This is
whatever
made up.
times they
Right.
want it to be
It's not.
This is made up. This could be
historical.
2022.
for their world, and
Yeah.
we would never know. I don't know.
It's pretend, guys. It's not real.
It is
I
pretend.
don't know.
It has definitely like made me a little bit more critical now of like the way that people view fantasy because I don't want all fantasy to be put into a box. That would suck.
It's boring.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a really imaginative medium. And
Yeah.
if you're forcing it to not be imaginative anymore, then like, what's the point? Also, shout out to them for finally doing a just not explicit. Explicit's not the word I want to use.
Okay.
But like on display, like queer relationship with no shame. They're not trying to hide it or anything like that. Like legitimately, these two women are in love and we know it from episode 1 and we're not trying to, and when I say explicit, I mean it more like it's on display, not like,
Yeah.
You don't mean
It's
porn.
not X-rated.
it's not X-rated. And it's also like one of the best romances that I've seen in a while. Actually, all the romances on this show are really, really great. The criticisms that I do have of the show are like some of the action editing could use some work, but hey, I understand how hard it is to edit action sequences. But I am hoping that if we do get a season 2 that it improves. There are also some really dark sequences, which I don't think is just a Willow problem. I think it's just a TV problem in general recently. Like with the Game of Thrones has done that on several occasions. And I'm just like, why is this a thing that TV is doing recently? And I'd like us to figure out a solution because it's not cool. I'm not down with it. And I also wish that the season was longer to give the story more time to breathe. But I also feel like that's a streaming service issue now. Like, why are we getting 6 to 8 episode seasons?
Right.
Like, I'd
Yeah.
like, can we at least get 10?
Yeah. Like what? Like what's going on, guys?
Yeah, 10 might have been helpful. But I also want to give a shout out to the fandom because this is that legitimately, I don't really like fandoms or like participating in them because there's always that one segment of the fandom, man. There's always that one.
Which is funny because you
That bullies everyone.
do participate.
To a degree.
I don't think in the way that like you're not like on the internet ganging up on people, but just your outward professions of love for
Yeah,
so many things.
I
You're a
will
very active participant in
Yeah,
life.
I will profess my love for something, but I don't necessarily usually interact with other people who also love those things.
Okay,
Okay.
I understand.
I got you.
With the Willow fan base, though, I'm willing to do that a lot more eagerly because they're so nice.
Oh, good.
Everybody
Aw.
legitimately so far has been really, really nice. Everybody just loves talking about the show and the things that they love about it and
Nice.
like all the great things that we adore about it and just are trying to boost up getting the other people to watch it because we love it so much.
Mhm.
Talking about the story, the characters, the ships, just everything. Like everybody is so just in love and enamored with the show.
Nice.
And so it's a really nice community to be in. So shout out to them. I've also listened to a couple of podcasts for it, like Willow Talk, Casterly Talk. Both of those are really good podcasts to listen to for breakdowns of the show.
Okay.
I'm planning to listen to What the Force, which is, I think, typically a Star Wars podcast, but I've heard that they do really great, like, symbolic analyses
Okay.
of Willow, which I'm really interested in hearing. Also, Willow has done the miraculous. It has made me agree with Raylo's about a ship. Not about Raylo, but about a ship in general. Like, we are on the same team. So,
Oh my God.
For the
yes.
record, you're not agreeing with Raylo as a ship. You're agreeing with Raylo shippers on a different ship, just to be clear.
that's what's happening.
Cool. Okay.
I'm about to watch the heck out of this show.
Gabby, I feel like you'll like it, and I would love for you to watch it because I need somebody else that I can. That's not fair. I actually have two really awesome people that I've met who I've been talking to a lot about it, Wes and Lila. They're really, really great. But yeah, if you are not into young adult series, if you are not into modern speech or music in your fantasy, or if you're not into denim in your fantasy, this show is not for you. But
I love that denim has become such a point of contention that you brought it up 3 times.
I have to.
Niggas are really mad about jeans like that?
They really are.
Bro, it's just denim. Relax.
And here's the thing. It was canvas. It's just canvas material. So it's been around for a long time.
Yo,
Just want to throw that out there.
They was mad about some denim.
It's not like they're wearing airbrush t-shirts.
Right?
Like
I think somebody
like
wore,
a 04.
I think a character might wear a t-shirt in this show, though.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
t-shirt.
but it's not
It's not like rest in peace, Lil Saint or nothing. No.
It's extremely wild, the number of like the things that are like turning people off from this show. And like there are certain things I'm like, fine, I can understand if the story isn't like your thing.
Right.
If you're not into young adult series, like absolutely not your thing. This show is not for you. This show is definitely like a young adult fantasy series.
They're like, nah, that nigga got jeans on, man. I can't rock with it.
There's also a lot of complaints about the fact that this show, instead of, you know how we were talking about in Black Panther, the reaction that we did, there was talk about how people should talk more like normal people in these movies. Yeah, that's Willow.
Okay.
They speak as if they are from, almost as if they're from 2022. We're not using like 2022 slang, obviously, or 2023 slang, but we're not doing medieval speech out here.
That's good.
Oh, it's kind of like what Mad Men did?
Probably.
Like,
I've never seen
no, but
that.
Mad Men, they didn't talk in like transatlantic accents. They just spoke normally.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I
So,
saw some people complaining that people don't have the same accents on Willow. I was like, yo, we are finding the most nitpicky things to complain about, aren't we?
It's not.
Yeah.
Whatever. People are
Like, if that's what you have to complain about, then it must be a really good show. If like that's what it's coming down to.
It's really fun. It's just fun TV to watch. It's the happiest I've been watching TV in a long, long time.
Oh.
Yeah, which is all that matters. Watch what makes you happy.
And if it doesn't make you happy, well, thanks for the hate watching. Hopefully our ratings are up high enough that we can get a season 2. You're just helping us out.
I can't imagine hate watching a show because niggas are wearing Levi's.
Right. Right. Silly.
I could talk about this show for days. I shouldn't. I've already talked about it long enough. But yeah, it is my favorite show of right now. It is my go-to show for whenever any tiny inconvenience comes up in my life.
Time to crack on the Willow.
Yep. I think the people at Disney Plus are like, you're watching it again? I've probably rewatched it like 8 times at this point.
Oof. Don't worry. That's us with Modern Family at home. It's just on a loop.
It doesn't help that this show is only 8 episodes, which means it's only like 6 hours. I can do it in a day. So it's so fun and it's so good. I'm just having a fun time and I hope that it comes back for season 2. Jonathan Kasdan is a man after my own heart. Yeah. I hope that we get a season 2 so that we can see what comes next, because they've left us in a very interesting position to expand the world. I think Willow, this show had an interesting position of being in where the source material doesn't have a lot of world building in it. So this show gets to really just kind of expand on it and kind of add more nuance to the things that were there in the first place. So yeah, just cast is great. Characters are great. The story is cool, in my opinion. Visuals are stunning. Yeah, fantasy is your thing. And if you're willing to open your minds to a new type of fantasy, or just a fantasy that we were used to in the 80s and has since disappeared, Willow on Disney Plus is the show for you. Please check it out. We need a season 2. Let's go.
Nice.
Woo. Also, to all the Willow podcasts out there, if we do get a season 2, when you guys come back, I would love to be on there to help you guys analyze the show. Because like, oh my gosh, please, I just want to talk about Willow more.
Yeah, there's so many podcasts to listen to, and I'm like, I should be there.
Right? I should be on the show.
Colin.
Me.
You ain't seen none of the things, but
No.
You watch 10 minutes of a thing.
you watched 10 minutes of something.
Technically, I watched 10 minutes of something I've already watched 2 episodes of, but hey,
What?
Okay.
work out.
Ooh.
Well, tell
Which
us.
I think I told you and
Why?
it's still on the list, but hey.
What was it?
I watched the first 10 minutes, again, of Southside.
Oh.
Okay, I thought you might have seen Southside. I wasn't sure.
I'd seen like the first couple episodes.
Okay.
Because when I went to HBO Max, it was like, do you want to start in episode 3? And I was like, no. But but hey, that's okay.
Yeah, tell us about it.
I don't know. It's interesting because like I didn't rock with it the first time I watched it, but the first 10 minutes are fucking hilarious. Shit's
Interesting.
good.
Yeah, I love it. They got
It's
me
real.
immediately.
With the sneakers. That's the first 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, that's in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The graduation gift.
Oh, when they get, yeah.
And then he like immediately gets arrested.
Oh, I love that show so much.
I also just like, I watched 10 minutes, right? And I try to keep it at like exactly 10. Right? 'Cause I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this.
Right.
And so the last line that I got was a cop saying, "That's a zaddy right there."
Oh
I
my
love
God.
her. Oh, she's fantastic.
That was Turner, right?
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's great.
She's amazing. I love all her different wigs. She's wearing
fantastic.
a different hair every time you see her. She's hilarious. She's iconic. Ugh, she's
real
so
good, though. Like,
mean.
For just 10 minutes, it packed a lot in there and it was really funny.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as Dallas has said, and we've cited many times, Black people make everything better.
You know it.
Yeah. It's also written by Harvard graduates. So freaking, they got
Like,
the fancy
it's
Harvard
one thing
brains.
To shoot somebody in the leg with an arrow because you can just do that. It's another thing to do that and then go, ha, bullseye, nigga. Like, it's just good.
Those dudes, the hood niggas are my favorite part. It's what you said. They pack a lot in there, but it's really good. It's how I feel about the whole show because you have the dudes it starts with, and then you have the two cops. You have the hood niggas and their whole operation, and it's just everything about that show works for me so well. And a lot of times they're so unrelated to each other that it's like watching a few different episodes, and it's always great. I'm so glad that you gave me another reason to talk about this show.
I got you.
That's okay. I'm trying to get Eric to watch Sherman Showcase, but he has resisted my attempts so far.
It's so good.
We're going to get there. We're going to try.
But yeah, shout out Diallo Riddle and Bashir Salahuddin, the Harvard graduates
Yes.
in question.
Oh, also, Bashir Salahuddin was in Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, we
I was
talked
like,
about that.
"Excuse me?"
You talked about that during your hiatus.
Yeah, I know. But I just wanted to include it in there. I was so proud of him. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
popping up.
We brought it up during the Actors podcast, I think.
Yes, he was on my list.
He's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, they're
He's so
great.
talented.
Great writers, great show. It's ridiculous in all the best ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you watched it again.
Me too. Thank you for putting it on the list.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it more this time.
Had to grow on him.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Shout out Southside. What you watching? I don't have anything.
Steve, Vamonos.
I legit.
Did you forget we did that?
No, I didn't forget that we do that. I just figured we wouldn't be because I knew my Willow review was going to go forever.
Fair. I mean,
Oh.
we don't have to.
I mean, I feel like we should let Gabby do it because
If she
Gabby
hasn't been here in
spoken
3 years.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, my what you watching is I've just been going through old comedy shows that I love, and it just turns out that like Hulu was like, oh, I get what you're doing. Here, have you seen 30 Rock? And I was like, I have, but it's been years.
Nice.
It's probably been since the show ended that I've watched it. So yeah,
What
so
a very
I'm watching-
interesting time to be watching 30 Rock. Alec
Oh
Baldwin.
boy. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep. Yikes.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Anyway, 30 Rock.
So 30 Rock is an American satirical sitcom television series created by Tina Fey. That's from Wikipedia. But it stars Tina Fey, Tracy Morgan, Jane Krakowski, Jack McBrider, Scott Adsit, and Judah Friedlander and Alec Baldwin. It's silly. And it's also, you could tell the show came out in 2006 because some of the jokes I'm like, ooh, you can't make that joke now.
Oh,
And some
yeah.
of the
I
plot
felt that way
points I'm
about
like,
shows from 6 years ago.
honestly, for real though. But it's really, really interesting. And I think I'm so used to like Donald Glover's, like, because Donald Glover was a writer on the show, like as he was graduating high school or like college, like he was still an RA and he was writing for the show, which is like such talent. But you could tell some of his jokes, like based because we like know his. If you've consumed enough Donald Glover, you kind of get his like comedic timing and you kind of get his like style a little bit. And I'm able to be like, oh, that was probably a Donald Glover joke right there.
Right.
And then they have him cameo a couple times. And
Oh,
I'm
nice.
like, oh my God, there he is. And then I recognized him in like Werewolf Bar Mitzvah, which is a song he wrote for the show.
Yeah.
And it's just a silly show. I think one of the highlights, which is a random highlight of the show that I like, is that the soundtrack, it goes really well with the show and how kind of silly it is. It's very like lighthearted oboe music throughout. And I found out that Tina Fey's husband is the composer for the show. So I'm like, oh, that probably explains why the music goes like particularly well, because she probably was able to really sort of walk him through what she wanted.
Right.
It's funny, it's silly, but it is of its time. So watch out. Some of the stuff is going to make you go, ooh, I don't know about that. But yeah, overall, very silly, really funny. And I'm working my way through it.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, all I got for this segment is that to go along with Willow, to continue with the fantasy.
Of course.
Yesterday I learned how to play Magic the Gathering. Anyway.
Magic the Gathering?
Yeah.
You know, my daughter's middle name comes from that. Also, I have a daughter, everyone.
Surprise. That's why Gabby's been gone.
What a way to announce that.
It's the way I would tell people I was pregnant. It's my favorite thing, just casually drop into conversation
That's true.
and watch
You did
people
that
process.
in our apartment.
I'm glad that I decided to mention that I learned to play Magic the Gathering yesterday, because
Right.
what a way to announce
We
that.
got an exclusive.
exclusive.
I was gone because I had a baby.
Gabby was having a child.
That's why she was gone for so long. So among the news and trailers and stuff like that,
Yes. Biggest news of all. Gabby has a baby.
Woo!
but trailer tracking.
Trailer tracking.
Trailer tracking.
We tracking them trailers.
Speaking of babies, because that thing looks like a baby. The Mandalorian, season 3. It's coming out. There's a trailer.
Doo-doo.
There's a baby Yoda in it. I know that's not his name.
His name is Grogu.
Yes.
Which I hate. I was like,
Everybody
no.
continues to call him Baby Yoda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why.
I call him
Because it's
Grogu because that's his name.
I call
His
him
mama
Grogu
named him
too, but
Grogu. Call him
I
Grogu.
was about to say the same thing.
What is that from?
Coming to
Is that
America.
Coming to America, yeah. They're talking about Muhammad Ali, but they're calling him Cassius Clay.
Got
Mama
it.
call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
Yes, The Mandalorian, season 3. This is mostly for me and also for Gaby, because we're the ones who watch the show. I'm super excited because this looks like this is going to be what I wanted season 2 to be.
Hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong. I really like season 2.
Yeah.
Season 2 did feel like the MCU version of let's set up a bunch of stuff in our Star Wars universe.
Okay.
Outside of Bo-Katan, because Bo-Katan belongs in a Mandalorian show. But this season looks like we are going to dive into the Mando lore. Haha, get it?
Aha,
Yeah.
Mandalore.
And Mando is finally
Mandalore.
going to actually go to Mandalore,
Yeah.
which I'm super excited about. When they announced that they were doing a show called The Mandalorian, the thing that I wanted out of this show was to delve deep into Mandalorian lore. This season finally seems to be delving into that, especially since Din Djarin is technically part of like the offshoot of a death cult of the Mandalorians. So yeah, I'm excited to finally get to see that. Gabby, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
Well, I'm excited to see them reunited because I didn't see Boba Fett, so that was a spoilie for me.
That's the other thing I'm concerned about, but all right.
I'm really excited of jumping into the Mandalore's like culture and actually going to Mandalore, especially since like last season, spoilers, it seemed like he became their leader, like because he
because he has the Darksaber.
Yeah, he has the Darksaber. So now I want to know more about like the culture and the consequences that the Mandalorian's going to have to go through because, you know, Bo-Katan, she wants that Darksaber.
Yeah.
So we're going to see.
It's so much fun because as somebody who has seen like the Clone Wars and knows so much more about Mandalorian culture going into this show, it's just like, yeah, the Darksaber is important, and this is important, and this is important, and this is important. And it's like people who don't know, I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
you guys are going to get like such a treat when you guys get to learn about all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm hyped for that.
Nice.
Oh, I also really liked in the trailer that he says that he's going to Mandalore to seek forgiveness for his trespasses or something like that. I really like that. It sounded like he's like making a trip to Mecca, which is really awesome. A really interesting way of looking at Mandalore.
Yeah, it's like a religious experience, which is going to be interesting.
All right.
Next up.
On to something Demi's definitely not going to watch.
You right.
Scream 6.
Oof.
There's 6 of these. I was looking at the Wikipedia, and this cast is
stacked.
There's more people in it than I realized.
Yo, shout out once again, Tony Revolori.
Popping up. We love it.
Love to see it.
Hope you don't get stabbed.
You probably will. Just make sure you come back to Willow when it's time.
Also, I realized, but I just got confirmation. In the train, Josh Segar, Pug from She-Hulk, he's in the train.
Oh, is he?
He's in the movie. He's like one of the cast.
I didn't notice.
I love him.
I saw him and I was like, is that Pug? It's him.
Yeah. And I know him from Sirens, but so when I saw him in She-Hulk, I was like, oh my God, it's a guy.
I know him from the Moody's Christmas.
I just know him from She-Hulk. But we all like him. He's great. Hope you don't get stabbed.
I wish I was more into horror because I would be super into this because I really like the cast. I'm a huge fan of Hayden Panettiere. I love Melissa Barrera after seeing In the Heights. I love Jenna Ortega after seeing Wednesday. Like,
yeah, this is a really good cast. I think I might want to see this. I haven't ever seen a Scream movie, which is weird because like the kind of self-aware nature of the first one makes it seem like a horror movie I would like.
but you're not really into slashers.
Yeah, that's the trouble. But I don't know. It looks good. Like the trailer's really good. He's just pulling out the Roscoe now and blasting people. That was crazy.
Yeah, I was like terrified, and no, thank you.
I thought it was just gonna be knives, but nah, got that thing on him.
You have to adapt.
You have to adapt.
I mean,
also
that's
just
what the whole trailer's saying, right? He's a new kind of whatever Ghostface.
But also just like the energy of that, like looks like they're in like a bodega. He's pulling out the shotgun, and then they cut down to his feet. And I know it wasn't going to be, but I expected it to be Black Air Forces on his feet.
Oh, I thought you were expecting some Tims.
Yeah,
Stop
like
it.
normally,
No.
if I like had confirmation that this was a New York thing, which
Black
it looks
Air
like,
Forces.
I think it's in New
I
York.
think it might be
Yeah, it's in New York.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I thought you were going to say Tims.
Yeah, but I was like, because he had black shoes on, I was like, this is Black Force energy if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, because that's the joke, right? Anybody that wears Black Air Forces is a villain.
Exactly. They're a Ghostface killer. Also, last thing, I didn't realize until right now that Roger L. Jackson, the guy who voices the killer, is Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls.
Stop it now.
Hilarious.
That's amazing. And now I want to see the movie even more. But yeah, that's Scream 6.
Welcome back, Hayden Panettiere. It's been a while since she's been on screen.
I know.
We love her, all from different reasons, I would assume.
I met her. She spent like 3 months at our middle school filming a movie.
Yeah, she shot Bring It On at you guys' school.
Nice.
Yep,
Shout
she
out
was a
to
cheerleader
cheerleader.
at our school.
All right, speaking of schools, Bel-Air Season 2.
Let's go!
We got a trailer.
We back.
I'm hyped.
I'm hyped too.
Oh, man. They got...
Soundtrack finna slap.
Yo, when N95 by Kendrick Lamar starts playing, I was like, oh, snap. Where's my TV shows list? It's going to the top. I don't even need to see it. That trailer, it works so well. And, you know, they cut it so well with all of the way that beat hits, the flow, everything. It's so good. Tatiana Ali is back.
Ashley talking to Ashley. Let's go.
Ashley's talking to Ashley.
Exciting.
She is, I am 90% sure that Tatiana Ali was my first celebrity crush
I believe
because
it.
I've been watching Fresh Prince since I was a baby.
That sounds
And,
about
you know,
correct.
If you grew up when I did and you saw Ashley, it's like, hey, yo. But
Have I told you the story about me being at the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air set?
What?
Maybe.
My mom was pregnant with me when they were doing the episode where Ashley becomes a pop star.
Oh my God.
And my mom was hanging out in Tatiana Ali's dressing room like the entire time they were filming.
Is that
Also,
the one?
that's my favorite episode of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, funny enough.
It is a
That's the one
very
you
good
were present
episode.
for.
I think it helps that Ashley is probably my favorite Fresh Prince character.
Okay, yeah, it's a real Ashley episode.
Yeah.
She was really relatable when we were little, or
Fair.
when I was watching it on it, like Nick at Night and stuff.
I can see that. Is that the one where she's sunbathing in that bathing suit with shades? I have a different Fresh Prince memory than everybody.
I think so. I mostly remember her singing with Carlton. It's like 2-parter episode, I think.
Mm-hmm. Right, they go to the place at the end.
Yeah.
She's singing on the stage.
Yeah, and
they're dancing in the background.
Me and my brother and my cousin can do the Will and Carlton dance that they're doing in that
I love
episode.
it.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yeah, Bel-Air though. We didn't even talk about
Just
Bel-Air
talking about Fresh Prince.
Yeah, because Fresh Prince is so good, but also it's because of Tatiana Ali.
We love her. Yeah, it looks great. Jeffrey still looks like a killer.
He in the streets, man. People getting ganked.
Jazz is still dope. Hillary's still gorgeous and doing her influencer thing.
I really love what they've done with Hillary's character on this show.
Really good.
So interesting.
Carlton's beating somebody's ass. Love to see it.
Also trying to be a lot more pro-black. We love to see that
Love
too.
to see that because
He's
black
trying
people
his
make
best.
everything better.
Will out here reverting.
Oh.
Yeah.
That definitely reminds me of the storyline from The Fresh Prince where he goes to live with Jazz for a while.
Fun times.
Kind of reminds me of that storyline a little bit.
Which is funny because I think after the first season ended, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
Because of how the first season ends. We were like, oh man, are they going to do that?
Because it also kind of blends in with another storyline, I think.
I apologize, audience. We can't talk about Bel-Air without reverting to Fresh Prince conversation because Fresh Prince is just such an important part of our lives.
But I think it's also because it's so interesting because we're not even trying to compare the two shows because they are so different.
Mm-hmm.
But Bel-Air does similar things that the Fresh Prince does, but it does it in a new light and it does it really, really well.
Yeah, it builds on the source material extremely well.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm always excited for
Your
more
boy
Bel-Air.
is hype. The only thing I worry about is that I get the idea that we might be kind of retreading the Vivian and Phil storyline from the first season because of something she says.
Yeah, it's obvious that Phil is going back to work and she's not happy about
and I'm
that.
just like, we
did that.
resolved this in season 1.
But we'll see. Maybe they'll switch it up somehow.
Hopefully. I hope they don't just do that again.
Yeah. I'm also hoping that Ashley becomes more of a character this season.
I think they will.
Yeah.
I think they'll do that because they brought in OG Ashley.
Yes, and especially because she's like legit in this trailer a little bit. And so that's good though, because I really wanted to see them explore Ashley like discovering who she is as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like as an activist, but also her sexuality and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's go.
Let's go. Another season 2. There's nothing relatable from these two things, so I didn't have a real transition there. Invincible season 2.
Yay!
It's a teaser. It's really just like a meta conversation.
It's like a Pixar teaser, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just Seth Rogen's character playing the fan base talking to the creators of the show. But I love it. It's cute. It's clever. The way that
they legitimately just animated a whole scene just to tell us when the next season was coming out.
The way that he was like, yeah, it's coming soon. And he was like, yeah, but like a specific date would be nice. That's cute. They didn't give us anything else.
They didn't. It legit was just a funny 2-minute scene that ended in them telling us that it's coming out late 2023. That just means that I have to prep myself as an Amber Defense Squad member, because I will fight y'all over Amber. I really will.
And I will fight y'all over Zazie Beetz.
So
we
it
are
works.
on similar teams there.
Woo.
But yeah, that's it for Invincible.
Yeah, really, it's just like I'm excited for Invincible to come back. I'm glad that we know that it's coming back soon.
Yes, I always do a rewatch of shows, so I'm gonna have
that one I will definitely have to rewatch.
Prepare myself for the beginning and the end, because it starts with whoa and then it ends with oh my god.
Oh wow.
Yeah, have you seen Invincible?
I can't watch Invincible.
Oh yeah.
No, but I have heard enough you guys talk about it that I'm like, I can't handle this.
The crazy thing is the boys, Invincible is actually like storyline wise, it's rather tame.
Yeah, they just have moments where
it just gets really like, if it goes hardcore, it goes hardcore, but then it pulls back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for the most part you could handle it.
Okay. All right.
But perhaps that's up to you.
Yeah, you should probably just watch the first episode to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once you see that last scene, then you'll know for certain whether or not it's for you.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, Velma was not for me. I was like,
I still haven't gotten around to watching that one.
Although my favorite part is with the character with never mind. I'll talk to you guys about it off screen.
Okay. Moving on. No transition. Shrinking.
Woo! Yay! I'm excited about this one.
It looks funny. I'm
hoping that this will be another show that like at least 3 of us watch.
I think 3 of us will watch it.
Yeah, if me and Dallas watch it, yeah. I'm watching it because it's created by Brett Goldstein, or he's one of the creators, and
really?
I love Roy Kent. Yeah,
same.
So
I'm here because I love Jessica Williams. She's fantastic, and I also love Harrison Ford, and he seems to be playing a curmudgeon-y old man, and I love to see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's been playing a curmudgeon his entire career, but now he's really growing into
it. Speaking of Jessica Williams, apparently her character's name is Gaby.
Love this for me.
With 1 B.
What?
Right? Look at that.
That's rare.
Also, we here at the podcast love whenever a show mentions or takes place in Pasadena. So
indeed we do.
We do.
Got to show support for the city.
But that line at the end is great too. Not just like for the Pasadena mention, but it's also hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I'm a white guy in Pasadena. They'll probably just take my car to my house for me. That was the line that made me think, okay, I think I do want to watch this.
Yeah. It's also correct. Like that wouldn't happen to us.
No. Get on the ground.
You know what pissed me off is like, okay, crossing the street from where I live, they decided that area is called Garfield Heights. And I'm like, man, y'all are racist. Like 2 houses down from this is apparently not good enough to be Garfield Heights. Ooh, when they put that sign off, that pissed me off. I was like, for real? Anyway.
There's one other actor in this trailer that I also was very excited to see, who is Luke Tenney, who was on Deadly Class, which was a show that I adored and that only got 1 season because the universe doesn't love me. Please do not do this to me again. But yeah, I was excited to see him in the trailer as well.
Also, speaking of references to Pasadena, I need to watch this because the last TV show I saw reference Pasadena was Hunters season 2.
Oh, nice.
And it was not nice because a Nazi was hiding in Pasadena.
Oh, that sounds about right. That sounds like a place they choose.
I don't want that to be how you reference our city.
No, but that would be the place they choose.
Pasadena and not like Glendale?
Oh.
Why we say
I hate that you both say Glendale at the same time.
Here's the thing. Pasadena gives me like really old money racism vibes.
Glendale
Yeah, but Glendale
has
used to be
the
a
Nazi
sundown town.
lamps.
Yeah, like
What?
the street lights in Glendale have swastikas on the bottom,
Oh no.
which you know
Maybe
we
they're
can
like
hope
it's too
it's-
on the nose.
we can hope that it's for the other purpose of that symbol before the Nazis like
Probably.
gentrified it.
Yeah.
Let's just go with that
We're gonna hope.
because I have to walk past them a lot, and I don't. Let's just go with
You're
that.
like, I feel dirty.
Yeah, not in a fun way. Moving on,
Oh, sir.
polite society.
This is like a
Okay.
fun one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm vibing.
Yeah, when Dallas sent the trailer, I was looking at the thumbnail and I was like, I don't know why he's saying this is my vibe. I have no idea what to expect from this. I don't
To
know.
be
what
honest,
it's
I think
giving.
all of you would like this. Colin is
Yes.
always more of a toss-up, but I
Colin's
think
always a toss up. Never know.
yeah, more than like you and Gabby have very, very
Specific
easy to
things.
define brands,
I have a brand.
and Colin
Colin's
has a
brand
brand.
is
Colin's
not
brand is I
having a
don't watch
brand.
things. So
My brand is I don't watch things, or I watch things and I can't tell you what connects them.
Yeah, I was going to say Colin's brand is also not having a brand. So
yeah, but I was like, this looks like all three of you I think would like it.
Yeah. This is giving me like gunpowder milkshake vibes.
Interesting.
I think this might be better than Gunpowder Milkshake.
I think it's going to be better, but
It looks a lot of fun. It looks really funny. It kind of feels like my take on polite society. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be. What is this thumbnail giving? And then you pointed out that it is Ritu Arya, and I was like, I thought it looked like her, and I just wasn't certain. But yes, I love Ritu Arya. She's fantastic. I love her on Umbrella Academy, so it'll be cool to see her as like, I'm going to say a supporting character in this movie because I'm not quite sure how big of a role she's playing. She's important, obviously, but I don't know if she's like leading the movie. But I really like her. The movie looks like it's a lot of fun, looks good, and it looks original.
it does.
yeah. Oh, I'm excited. It also is just so colorful, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's just going to be a really, really good time.
And I love giving original movies a platform on our podcast, even if our platform isn't particularly large.
Yeah, we do what we can.
I feel like our audience is very loyal and takes our suggestions because I have had more than one friend tell me, I checked this out because it was on your podcast. So,
We love
Nice.
to hear that. Thank you, guys.
We love it. And after the trailers, we have one bit of news.
Yes.
Hey,
Meryl Streep is in Only Murders in the Building.
woo!
Only murders in the building.
They got some Oscar winning actress on there. What?
Only Murders in the Building always gets really, really good guest stars. Even like Paul Rudd is also going to be on this upcoming season.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I saw.
Yeah, which we've known about. If you watch season 2, you know about because he was in the season finale for season 2. But yeah, Paul Rudd is going to be in season 3. Now we've got Meryl Streep, which makes me wonder what the hell is Meryl Streep doing in Only Murders in the Building? Who is she playing?
whatever she
going-
wants.
I know, right? Just whatever she wants.
Right? I'm
How
excited.
did you guys get Meryl Streep?
They probably got her because she knows the show's freaking amazing and deserves her grace. There
Her
with
presence. Because, yeah, I think the last TV show that I saw her on was Big Little Lies. She was great on that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a very different show than Only Murders in the Building. I'm very excited to see Meryl Streep stretch out them comedy chops.
Yes. She has great ones, too. Hashtag death becomes her.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like, you think of Meryl Streep and you think of all of her dramatic roles, but Meryl Streep is also very, very funny.
Yeah.
But also, I just love Only Murders in the Building. It's one of my favorite shows that consistently comes out. I think that Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez have done a fantastic job with this show.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait to see it continue and to see where this murder goes.
Yes. I'm excited.
That's all the news, though.
That is all the news. Time for Indifferent Opinions.
Woo.
Colin.
What up?
Colin,
Yeah.
Mandalorian season 3. Got a take?
I'm amazed that it took them 3 seasons to actually dive into Mandalore because, like, hello, it's the name of the show. What are you doing?
Yeah, they're only focusing on Din Djarin, though. That's who the Mandalorian is.
Yeah, well,
That's the main guy's name.
Din Djarin is
Okay.
his real name.
Got it. I was like, what the hell is that? All right. Scream 6.
haven't seen any of the Screams. Don't plan to start now.
That sounds
Fair point.
correct for you. Bel-Air season 2.
I didn't see Bel-Air season 1. I have not seen Fresh Prince. I got nothing for you.
You haven't seen Fresh Prince?
No.
He's mentioned this
Idiot
before.
at all?
Have I even seen a full episode? I don't think I have.
I thought you just didn't watch Disney Channel shows.
Oh, my God. That's going on the list.
It's got to go on the list.
I
He's,
didn't know it was
No, I
all
mean,
of the good shows of our childhood.
not watched a bunch of stuff, including Fresh Prince.
Oh, did you not have cable growing up?
We did.
Oh.
I just didn't watch Fresh Prince.
It's because usually when people are like, oh, I haven't seen that, it's because they have cable. So I'm like, okay.
I'm disappointed. Invincible season 2.
from what I've heard about Invincible, I don't think it would be my thing. So I don't know. That trailer kind of annoyed me.
Did nothing
I don't like things that get meta.
You don't.
But I
That is
respect
your
some
brand.
people do. So have fun in late 2023, I guess.
The funny thing is the show itself is not actually meta. It's just
No, the
that
show's
teaser.
not. But the teaser's very meta.
Yeah.
Shrinking.
I mean, I don't know. It looks, I don't know. I feel like I would love to show it to my therapist and be like, what do you think of this?
Interesting.
You
But
should. Tell us what
Am I going
happens.
to watch it? Probably not.
Have your therapist give you a 10-minute take for shrinking
Okay, cool.
and then report back to us with their 10-minute take.
Yeah.
Polite society.
It looks like fun, but it also, like Gaby said, they show the whole movie in the trailer. And while I don't necessarily agree with that because there could be plot twists and shit, it does feel like, okay, I know what this movie is now, and I know enough about it that it's not really intriguing anymore.
Oh, so like they took the mystique out for you or something?
I guess, if there wasn't any to begin with.
I think that
Okay.
this happens with indie movies a lot where they never know how to market them, so they just show you so much of it in hopes that something will catch
Like,
your
please
eye.
watch this. Does
Yeah.
anything like, do you like any of this? Please come see our movie.
Yeah, it's not like the big mainstream movies where it's just like, we don't have to show you too much because you already
Right.
want to see this.
It's not
but
like a Christopher Nolan movie. He's just
Yeah.
like, hey, I made a movie. See y'all in January.
Although-
Not January, July.
even though like comic book movies also sometimes will show you the whole thing in the trailer for some weird reason.
Yeah, and they don't need to do that.
Yeah, but I think that
Yeah.
indie movies and original movies even more so kind of struggle with how much do we show you to what's going to catch your attention and really get you into the film,
Right.
which sucks because I would like to not have that much information about the movie.
Fair.
Yeah, I feel like they gave too much away.
I'm gonna still see it though because I
Yeah.
like supporting original cinema and this looks like a lot of fun and that's what matters here.
Ooh, it's great.
Lynn,
Or
you
it looks
do
good.
watch Only Murders in the Building,
He
right?
didn't watch season 2.
Well, he
I
doesn't
haven't
watch
seen
season
season
2s
two.
of shows.
That's his brand as well.
Yeah. Watching a show, liking it, and then just not watching
season
it
2.
when it comes back.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
thoughts on
sent
Meryl
us
Streep?
information on that.
He did.
Thoughts on Meryl Streep being in season 3? Sounds lovely. Maybe I'll watch season 2 someday, and maybe I'll watch season 3 someday. Who can say? I can't because I don't fucking
You
know.
sure can't.
Who can say? I can't, but can you?
All right, that has been Indifferent Opinions.
Woo!
Pretty much sounded like what we would expect.
But we do it anyway.
We do it anyway, for you, the people.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for listening to all of that. We love you. We appreciate you. Happy January. Thank you to Crown Digital, Brandon, and Io for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Demi, thank you for editing, putting us on YouTube, repping for the Willow fans, as you have been
We're called
since November.
Questies.
Questies. Okay, I
I think
didn't know
we're-
if there was a name.
I think that we just developed it.
That's
I think we're
confusing
Questies.
because what about fans of the show, The Quest?
I don't know what that is.
I don't
It's
either.
a show. I'm just saying, like, what do you do then?
I think we decided on Questies because, well, somebody's pointed out that they liked the name Questies because it was a nice blend of queer, quest, and, there was another word.
Besties?
Besties, I think it might have been, yeah.
Which is interesting because the Mythic Quest podcast is called Questy Besties.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's great. I wish it would come back. Cool, Questies. God, I was like, is there a name?
We just developed it like this past week, so I don't know if it's like official,
Did y'all have like
but
a
that's the
meeting?
one I saw.
Yes.
Twitter.
Okay.
She went to the Willow meeting.
I went to Twitter, and it looks like we have established that it is
They
Questies.
do be having meetings. Colin, thank you for coming through for the vibes,
Yeah,
giving Southside another shot because I love talking about Southside.
it's good.
I'm on the street team.
Yeah, it was queer, quest, and besties.
Okay, that makes sense. Which, I guess if you just put Quest and Bestie, it's already Questies, right?
It is, but the queer part is very
Feel like-
important.
Quickness. Yeah. Gabby, thank you for making it to back-to-back episodes for the first time in who knows how long.
5 months. Woo.
Let's keep the streak going.
Yay. And just
Also
casually
for-
dropping our
Yeah.
news.
Making the groundbreaking announcement. Audience, let us know what you think about Megan, Missing, Willow, Denim. Does it make you mad? If it does, please think about why and then just like take a moment to evaluate yourself.
But also definitely comment down below with your opinions because, man, let's start a conversation.
Yes. And also tell us what you would do to get Nia Long back if she was missing from your life,
That's such a good question.
right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Colin, did you sigh? Did you have something to say?
I just think that you don't want to admit that your thoughts are driven by horniness, but
No,
they
he
are.
knows that they are.
Oh, no, they 100% are.
Yeah, but he's not like saying it. He's trying to play it on the podcast like, oh, I'm not
Yeah.
going to say it, but we all know.
Just saying, we have to protect black women, Colin. This is what I meant by that.
Speaking of thirst, shout out to Erin Kellyman for deciding that she wanted to murder the entire Tanthamore fandom because, wow, what a way to do it.
We love when it circles back to thirst.
Yes, we do.
Anyway.
We need to rename the podcast.
Goodness gracious.
The podcast is just the splash.
Creative thirstiness.
Creative thirstiness.
Creative splash.
Goodness gracious. Respond to all of that nonsense in the comments or hit us on Twitter at y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC, or TikTok at Creative Differences Pod. If you want to talk about how dope Megan is, find me on Twitter and or Instagram at a king named Simba.
Hi, I'm Gaby. You can find me on the Instagrams at Stegosaurus.
I don't know. Talk to me about something. Figure it out. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Duck McGuck.
Hey guys, if you guys want to join my hyperfixation about Willow, or if you are John Kasdan and you want to offer me a job working in the writer's room of Willow, that would be fantastic. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled Dreemi. John Kasdan, I'm serious. If you have a job in the writer's room of Willow, please. I'm a hard worker, and I've worked in a writer's room before.
She's fantastic.
Yes, we can all be references.
Yes. But thank you guys again for joining us. I don't know what our next episode is, but tune in for whatever we decide to do, because I'm sure it'll be entertaining.
Yes, it has been different. Bye.
Bye.
So, to me, when we watched Missing, we went with Jesse, and he was talking about trailers and how, like, why is a Spider-Verse trailer in front of Missing? They ain't really got nothing to do with each other.
Black people. And Sony.
That's
because it's Spider-Verse, because you need to see it. What kind of question is that?
Another thing.
They were also both Sony movies.
Yes. My first answer was AMC's going to throw every trailer at you because they have to fill those 25 minutes before Nicole shows up.
Why?
But the real reason, if we look into our hearts, we all know the real reason is, look at Nia Long.
Yeah.
Look at Miles Morales' mom.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's hot moms, guys.
We have come back to the thirst.
Welcome to the Splash Zone. Surprise.